Let's get sweaty.
Hey guys, welcome to a Shenmue Dojo show bonus edition. I am Matt, good to see you as always, and I have James with me as always. How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well, thanks Matt. How are you doing?
Yeah, all good. I'm now into my new office. I say new old office. It was my wife's office. It's now mine because we've got the newborn coming in May. So I've got
Good stuff, man.
A nice little setup. Cozy is the way I would describe it, but I'm grateful I'm in here all the same. And it means I can do things like this and talk about Shenmue discoveries, which I think is probably a good segue into where we're going tonight. So, for those of you who are probably aware, there was an auction a few days ago, probably a week ago now, where we was lucky to capture 3 sort of packs of art books. So I'm talking like sketches, images from Shenmue, the planning phase. So you're talking characters, you're talking locations, you're talking some Virtua Fighter 4 stuff in there as well. It's really cool. We're waiting for it to be shipped from Japan, and then James and I are going to scan it all in and release it to everybody. But then funny things happen. Shenmue fans like to dig. That's the only way I can describe it. And what has been out on the internet for probably 25 years has been staring us right in the face. We haven't seen it. There's some absolute gold out there, isn't there, James? But I'll let you take it away and explain all that's been going on behind the scenes.
Okie dokie. So context-wise then, guys, so there's a group of us that obviously won these booklets from this auction that we're waiting on the actual images of to scan in. But we've got photographs of basically all of the documents already that the seller took of these booklets, just to sort of show you everything that you're going to be getting with these booklets. And obviously we've been looking through the images, and we've noticed on the bottom, because we were trying to work out who actually owned these documents originally. So it appears to be a little bit of a back and forth thing. So there's a couple of names we've got. So it seems like there's a guy that gave them at some point to sort of a middleman to then give to someone that was actually working on Shenmue 1 and 2 back in the day. But the first guy is known as Hideki Kawabata, who worked at Sega from 1994 until roughly like 2000, the end of 2000, 2001 almost. So essentially what we saw on the bottom right, I think, of some of the images was his name, Hideki Kawabata. So we Googled him, and he's the one that obviously originally had these documents that he then passed on to a guy called Ito-san. Forget his first name off the top of my head, but we're not worrying about him, we're worrying about this Hideki Kawabata guy. So for context, on the screen there you can see a picture of him. I'm assuming that's from when he was younger working at Sega. His employment history on the right there. So this is from Sega Retro, really great resource for Sega history, of course. Also on Moby Games, we've got a list of all the games that he's actually worked on. So starting back at when he first joined Sega, he worked on Magic Knight Raye for the Game Gear, then Bug for the Sega Saturn. We both like Bug, don't we, Matt?
Great game.
Kishin Dojo Doji Zenki for the Game Gear, never heard of it. World Series Baseball 2, I actually played that and quite enjoyed that back in the day. Then Greatest 96, I've played that as well, I've got that. Digital Dance Mix Nami Amuro, never heard of it.
No, never heard of it.
And then, of course, Shenmue. And then he left Sega, seemingly went to whoever worked on Final Fantasy 11 Online in 2002, and then there's a big gap. I'm not sure what he was doing there, but he helped work on some character modelers for Gravity Rush 2 in 2017, which is interesting. Then obviously he's credited for Shenmue 1 and 2, but probably because it's a remaster and it's the work from before, I don't think they got him back to do anything. I think it's probably just his old work that he's getting credited for again. But then what is interesting, finally, Shenmue 3 back in 2019. So I'm not sure if, I mean, these names we probably, unless you're aware of them previously, a lot of these sort of developers and artists or whatever names sort of go over your head, don't they, as you're reading them, especially if they're on the Kickstarter page. You only really notice the ones that you're familiar with.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
was never
quite.
familiar with this guy, so I don't know if it was already written somewhere on the Kickstarter page with Shenmue 3 that he was coming back, like one of the original lead character artists. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't know if you do that.
I don't remember it being overtly mentioned at the time. I know they made a big deal of Ryuichi coming back. They made
Yeah.
a big deal of Kenji Miyawaki coming back. Obviously, Masai Matsukaze and Corey coming back. But they never. I don't remember. And I could be very wrong, of course. But I don't remember having the name Hideki Kawabata mentioned anywhere.
No, I don't personally. But he's got a very interesting career there. Obviously, more so in the earlier years. And I would assume Shenmue took up the bulk of those early Sega years. Obviously, you can see he worked on the Sega Saturn until the Dreamcast era, but obviously Shenmue originally was going to be a Sega Saturn game, so I think he probably was assigned to a lot of that stuff, which we'll see in the images. We're seeing some sort of Sega Saturn-esque images as well that are in there. So just go back to the Sega Retro page then, Matt. So essentially someone from the group that was involved in purchasing the auction documents essentially noticed this personal website on FC2 link under the external links here, Matt. And like Matt said earlier, right under our noses, I don't know, I've never seen this page before in my life, is a whole consortium of classic character model designs, some absolute gold in here. These character art for characters from Shenmue 3 that had Dreamcast models. There's area artwork here.
It's a treasure trove, isn't it?
It's an absolute treasure trove, man. I mean, if people were aware of this before, no one's ever brought it to our attention.
No, definitely not.
So that's essentially what we're going to be going through now, guys. We're going to look through all of these amazing artworks and sort of give our reactions and opinions to. I did want to read that little bit at the top there, Matt. So,
oh yeah, go for it.
So the background of Hideki working for Sega on the Shenmue titles, essentially. So it says he was and this is his own personal page, which is why it's crazy. So this is a public page, but it's essentially his portfolio. I was transferred to AM2 Research and Development Department, the production team of the hit Virtua Fighter at the time, and Yu Suzuki of AM2 Research and Development. Research and Development was recruiting in-house staff to create Virtua Fighter RPG, so I wanted to join that. Assigned to the development team of Virtua Fighter RPG, which was also known as Project Berkeley, Shenmue Chapter 1 Yokosuka. So the job description. Initially assigned to the background team, he then produced modelling and textures for Kowloon City, some of the ships, food stalls, etc. 6 months later, due to organisational changes, I was transferred to the 3D character production team of the same project. The following year, the main design leader retired, so I was promoted to sub-leader, deputy section chief, of the 3D character production team, which had about 15 people at the time. I was responsible for specification production, which is basic structure production design, research and production of picture direction and improvements, quality management, schedule management, modelling of main characters, textures, motion, expression, rendering, and even promotional posters. So involved in a lot of the classic artwork.
That's like going way, way back, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you're thinking of the auction listings, Matt, the stuff that we've got coming in, there's a lot of promotional material in there as well. So these are images that he's essentially worked on, obviously part of the team, but just amazing really that all of the Shenmue history and like these classic iconic images and stuff, he's one of the lead members of, that sort of shaped that perception, that image of Shenmue back in the day. About 15 people at the time, he says.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've read all that. So at its peak, the 3D character production team staff managed a staff of up to 25 people.
Wow,
which is quite a lot of people, really, just for the character production. So these other productions working on like audio and sound and motion capture and stuff, but the 3D character production team essentially here. I also supported in-house staff giving correction instructions and improving their skills. So some of the works is Dreamcast, Shenmue Chapter 1, Yokosuka, and then Shenmue 2 up to the middle. So essentially, I think he left halfway through the development of Shenmue 2 because it does specify that he left Sega sort of like the tail end of 2000, I believe. I have got the image actually. So it says, so it was from April the 1st, 1994, he joined Sega when he was 22, and he left March the 31st, 2000, 28 years old. So still quite a way off Shenmue 2, actually. If you think March 2000, Shenmue 1 hadn't even been released. So there was a team that were already working on Shenmue 2 at the same time, like up to the middle of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But obviously with the combination of the Sega Saturn as well, he's probably factoring a lot of that within that he worked on previously, perhaps. So the software used was that Soft Image 3.9, which we spoke about the other day if you've listened to the previous podcast that we just recorded. Photoshop, in-house tools such as SMAP or SMAP, I don't know how you pronounce that, etc. And also background modeling plus texture of Soft Image 3.9. So he's got a real interesting history, considering, you know, he was only with the Shenmue team from, say, 98 till 2000. So like within those 2 to 3 years working on Shenmue, he's been promoted twice and, you know, sort of managing a team of 25 almost. So yeah, really interesting stuff, I thought.
I think it really is. Like, this is like a look into the time of that development all the way through, isn't it? When you think there's a person here who's been very deeply involved in the character design of Shenmue. Obviously came back for Shenmue 3, which I didn't know until this was mentioned to me. I think it was a few days ago. So there's that element of it. And then it's like going back in a time machine when you go back and look at the games he's worked on, the history he's got, and then being that deeply involved in Shenmue, leading a team, says to me he had a lot of influence on the overall aesthetic of the characters and what came through. So to then find these images, which we're going to go through very, very shortly, it's astounding that this stuff is just sat on the public internet and nobody has either seen it or not told, like you say, not told us about it. And there's stuff in here that says to me that actually Shenmue 3 on the Dreamcast, maybe, okay, while it wasn't ever announced, they were certainly thinking about it and certainly thinking about later titles and later chapters, weren't they?
Yeah, well, as we're going to show you in a minute, we've teased this quite enough, we'll get into the artwork in a minute, but as you'll see, some of the models are stuff that we haven't even seen yet. Like, there's a character here you're going to see on the first image that is mind-blowing, really, because this was worked on back in 98. So how far did they actually get, do you think, before they sort of cut the end of the game off? And there must be stuff after that, because obviously we've seen those I was going to say the images, but they were Meow Village, to be fair.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? They worked on stuff that was cut, essentially. And
when you think back as well to the anime and sort of picking up that point on stuff that's gone beyond, the anime used a lot of source material that was kicking around, didn't it? So it went back, like the karate tournament, for example. That was in the original source material they had access to. So it sounds like to me that team have gone back and looked through not just that, but also some stuff ahead as well, and gone, look at that, what's ahead there as well. I don't know. They've probably seen things in terms of the planning, and we know Shenmue is novelized. It's all the way through. It's been novelized. Yu Suzuki confirmed that to you in the interview that he did last year. So there's got to be, just by process of elimination, I guess, got to be character artwork and things that were planned way back in 98, obviously before everything unfortunately went south. But again, the fact that it's actually physically exists is still a bit mind-blowing, and I think we should be diving into this stuff right now, and let's go in and see what we've got here. So where we're going to start is we're going to start with the early character renders first. So don't worry, these we full screen for everybody to see, and I will keep the images up hopefully on the screen for everybody as well as we talk through them. But the first one, James, this is mind-blowing. Talk me through it.
This is incredible artwork. So you can actually, I'm not sure what quality we've got here on the Dojo hosting, but we will provide a link to that portfolio page. And I've actually downloaded the full image, like, as my desktop background at the moment, because it's just so stunning, I think. So I'm not quite sure the context of the image. Obviously, it probably would have been promotional artwork, because it looks like those Shenmue promotional artwork type things where we got like Rio and
Yeah,
Genfroy or
yeah,
Rio
yeah.
and Landy, Rio Nozomi. So this one would have been Ren. And this brand new character that we've never seen that is modelled here. So it's actually 3D rendered, and it's actually a better render than the actual model that we'll see in a future image that they were going to use in game, because obviously some of the promotional work, they had like these upgraded models just for the promotional artwork there, like the best quality that you can get. And what's insane is she appears to be some sort of a Mongolian person that is basically on some of the outfit that's wearing, and also what we know about Ren's previous ties, which we'll get into a little bit later, Matt. But stunning image, right? And
Yeah.
I don't know, what were your first thoughts when you saw this particular image?
Well, after my jaw dropped and I picked it up, my first instinct was, who is she?
Yeah.
Like, and what's her link to Ren? Is it a relative? Is it a love interest? Is it somebody from his Mongolian tribe? Obviously, we're going to come on to that very shortly. But this is somebody we know literally nothing about. Absolutely nothing.
This is the first time I've ever seen this artwork of her.
And it's the first time I've seen the artwork of her as well. So, this could be a future character from Shenmue 4 or Shenmue 5. We do not know. It could be a cut character. They've gone in a completely different direction. But I'm 99.9% sure nobody has seen this stuff before. Or, like I say, if they have, it's been buried.
Or
but yes, stunning.
They just didn't assume that we didn't know about it. I don't know.
Wow, I don't know.
That Sega Retro page is quite a popular website, and people go on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they, put two and two together. If anyone did see these images, but crikey, man!
Wow,
what a great image to kick off with, right?
Yeah, absolutely stunning. Words can't describe it, and there's a lot more to come. This sets the scene for a good number of things that we haven't seen before.
Definitely going to see this image on Twitter, I think, now a few times. And like I say, definitely set this as your desktop background, because it actually, the quality of it is
really
amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool.
It's really good.
So then we move on, and you've got a render of her on her own. Now, you are right here in that actually the quality isn't quite the same as it was in the render with Ren. But actually,
to me, this feels more like a Sega Saturn render, actually. Like you'd expect, like Knights.
Yeah.
It's got a Knights quality about it, right?
You could absolutely see it. And in the bottom right corner, there is some text down there which we can't make out from the image I've
quite
got,
make out. No.
But we might be able to up-res it and find out, because that might well date it. I'm having a look, but I can't make it out.
Even on the main page, mate, full screen or whatever, it just goes too pixely. So this isn't as good quality as the previous piece.
But again, a very interesting design and a character, like I said, we haven't seen before, and I just wonder what her role's going to be, if at all.
Yeah, well, snowing is what was interesting. I don't know if it was the previous artwork, but these stars coming out of her eyes.
Yes,
like
there
tears almost.
Yes, there wasn't on.
I'm sure there's another artwork where she's crying. There is. If you go on the last one, Matt.
The proper last image all the way through.
No, the previous image.
Oh, the previous image, yeah.
Again, there's like stars, tears coming out of her eye there. I don't know if that's.
You are quite right there. Oh yeah.
If that's just a character trait, or is that a magic thing that's going on? I don't know.
Or she's mourning Ren.
She's crying.
She's mourning Ren's death.
Maybe. I mean, he is in the clouds, like a WoW-esque thing.
Yeah, you are quite right.
She's crying here as well, kind of, but they're like almost like stars, aren't they?
They are. Very strange, that, isn't it? But cool all the same.
You don't think it's linked to the Big Dipper, do you? When Ren looks up and he's the one that points out the Big Dipper, isn't he?
Could be. The thing is, like, this is undiscovered, as far as we're aware, territory. Yep. We know nothing about this, so everything we're talking about is pure speculation in some of these characters.
I love the model.
I love the model. It's really good. Really, really good.
Really, really good. Yeah, it's like a completely unique character, isn't it? Really, that we've in Shenmue.
Absolutely. Hopefully she appears. I'm very
tell,
intrigued.
Just from the artwork alone, she's like a semi-main character, right? Like your Shuing, your Fangmei, Nozomi. She's like that type of a main character, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
She's got a story.
But just by the quality of the model in that first image, you would think that they had something planned. whatever that may be.
And I could tell you, because I think on the next image or one of the next ones, it's more obvious what her name is. So her name's actually Moa.
Ah, here we are. So this, I think,
Oh,
it's
Mao.
on this.
Sorry, Mao. Mao into Mao. Yeah, Mao.
Now, I don't know if you look at the bottom right corner of this image whether, because it's got like apostrophe 97. Is that a design from 97?
I think it is, mate. Yeah. So I think this was Saturn, maybe, because these are the higher end Saturn artworks that you could find back in the day.
Yeah.
So if you looked up like a CG artwork of, say, Nights into Dreams, I feel like it looks this quality.
I do. I wonder then, this is almost like the transitional phase to Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Or, again, this is something that may have not happened or may happen, but again, going back to an interview with Pandemodium, he said the Saturn stuff was rendered on a base Saturn, was basically going to explode the thing. It was right at the top end. But they did move it over to like a hyped up Saturn, didn't they? So could this have been that sort of in-between phase, maybe? Or like I said, the move to Dreamcast? Because 97 would be... You'd have had the Katana development kits by that point, wouldn't you? So you would have...
Yeah, it's definitely not an in-game Saturn model if it is a Saturn design. It's obviously
not.
it's CG worked, but could be a Dreamcast model because it's that type of graphics as well, right? It's like the in-game Dreamcast model looking style that you'd expect to see.
Yeah. But man,
reminds me of, if anyone's played Sword of the Berserk on the Dreamcast, there's a character called Casca. She looks quite similar to that, to be fair, model-wise.
It's again, but like the detail in this model, as we said previously, suggests that she's something more important. But again, brilliant. Let's move to the next image, Mao again. So we've got another set of images of her.
The full artwork, full body shot there, so you can kind of see the full Mongolian style clothing that she's wearing. Obviously the winter hat, and if you Google image Mongolian tribe clothing, you see similar sort of things to this, like robes and woolly hats and boots, that sort of thing. Very, very cool.
I love the design. Brilliant design. So then let's move through to the next image now. Our good old friend Chai there jumping. I mean, we don't need to see too much about him, but it's a nice image all the same, isn't it?
It is a nice image. I mean, this could be a previously released one. It looks familiar, but obviously promotional image. The guy Hideki Kawabata, he worked on the promotional art here, so obviously this was promotional artwork that maybe got out.
And then sort of coming along, you've got, I remember
that
this
one
artwork definitely did. But again, it's a cool image. Then shifting through, sort of get a right up close face, like it almost came out the Faces demo sort of thing. Again, good image. Then sort of some up closes of his actual face. Again, this looks like
model for sure.
Yeah, this is a proper Dreamcast model. And again,
you can see the earwax, can't you, coming out of his ear?
The lack of teeth, and tell you what really gets me is the details around his eyes, like, or just under his eyes and
dots,
everything,
like the spots. And...
it's again, I don't think that would have been the full in-game model. In that, I think they've had to come step that back a little bit. But when you think of like the renders in what Shenmue and the Faces demo, etc., the passport, I think that's probably where you'd have gone in terms of that level of fidelity and detail, which actually, when you look at it now comparing to like modern games, it doesn't sit there and go, well, that's from 1999 2000, do you?
No chance.
Looks pretty damn good,
doesn't
it?
Yeah, for sure.
So, coming on, some just sort of full model renders of Chai. This is again looks like an in-game model. 1999, I think 27th of February.
Yep.
So
that's
quite
cool, so
quite late on in development
model for sure. Yep.
And then sort of another promotional image of Chai jumping.
Spooky, isn't it?
It is a bit quite creepy. Another then sort of a full character profile. This looked to be generated on August 21st, 1998. So again, it's a Dreamcast model. But when you compare it back to the other sort of model that I showed with the breakdown in its profile, that model you can see has got less detail on it than the 1999 one, I think.
I think so too, yeah. It looks slightly less, doesn't it?
But again, it's all sort of your history stuff. Then again, Chai looking awfully creepy there again. Looks really cool though, doesn't he?
Yep.
And then coming through, you then got his various facial expressions.
So this is what they're on about with the emotions, right?
Yeah.
Expressions.
And they've really, those ones at the top are proper, like, big emotions, aren't they?
Yeah, you can see he's only got about 4 teeth.
And this is dated 26th of February, if I'm right.
Oh yeah,
1997. So again, quite sort of 97, 98, transition to Dreamcast potentially at that sort of point in time. Stunning. Again, I know it's Chai and we know a lot about Chai, but again, this is what I mean by treasure trove. This is why we're excited about it. Not just the new characters that we've seen, but stuff like this about old characters that we know a lot about. This is quality.
It's just like showing the progression into the development of these characters, which is really interesting.
And then
would love not like a art book showing like the history of Shenmue like this, because even this, mate, this is Fukusan. 97 model.
And do you know what? His design's gone through a lot of changes when you look at that from 97 to what he is now. That is a big, big change.
Yeah. They definitely made him, I don't know, just, he obviously looks better than he does here.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's something about him here that looks missing.
Yeah, I'd agree. He's not clearly an in development shot, but I mean, we expect that, don't we? Then coming on, that you can see the difference. Actually, the difference in the two, it's quite palpable actually when you look at it. But again, we know a lot about it. This is generated 1998, October 27th. So quite a way on.
Yeah, from the previous.
So again, like that, it's very cool. Then you've got all these textures.
Yeah. Which
flattened out.
Why not? Throw it in there.
Chuck it in there, why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit creepy.
You've got the Yamamoto lady, haven't you?
Yeah. 98. This was generated 26th of November. So again, what makes me astounds me a little bit here with some of these models is actually they're quite early on in inverted commas. You're a way off of release, but these are pretty detailed at this point in time. Yeah.
I mean, she's very much how she is at the end, right?
Yeah, she isn't far off.
Too dissimilar, not too far off now.
And coming through, hello.
See, this is an interesting one. Who's this guy then, mate? So this is 97.
Yeah.
A character that I've personally never seen before.
Now,
the only person who it reminded me of, and you can maybe pop up a picture of the screen here, Matt, is the guy in Shenmue 3.
Yes.
In Niawu, who obviously joins Ren and the gang at the end. You know, Schilling does the broom hitting on the head. He does the belly flops sort of things to push the people off the balconies, doesn't he? Yeah. He's not as chubby as he is there, but he's got the bandana. He's got the green clothing, the sort of, slightly ruggy look about him.
Who's the guy, and I'm just thinking this out loud here, who's the guy in Bailu Village that trains the kids Tai Chi? What's his name?
I don't know his name, but yeah, very similar. But he was very similar to the Niawu person, right, as well. They both kind of looked the same, didn't they? But again, yeah, maybe it could be a Bailu character. Maybe it could be him. I don't know if anyone knows based on the kanji there. I think Terry linked.
Zhongzhu is his name. I've just found it. I was searching on my phone. But again, I think it's funny because he looks like it. It almost looks like this one and Mr. Sue that you mentioned from Niawu. It's almost like they've split that character and made two characters out of it. They're very close, aren't they?
I mean, for all we know, this could be another character beyond.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I mean, the hiragana there says Gakuhi. So I don't know if that would be his name, Gakuhi, or not. I'm not sure.
And then the next image is him
seemingly drunk, like
or doing something.
Homeless guy kind of look to him, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does like that sort of homeless vibe. But and again, it's got the character name next to it. I can't make out the other stuff in white at the bottom right, but again,
wouldn't be the street performer, do you think? Would it?
It
is he in green clothing?
But he's in yellow clothing in Shenmue 2 Zhongquan, isn't he?
And doesn't have a bandana around his head like that, does he?
No, he's got like quite scraggly hair.
Scraggly hair, yeah. Could be though, I don't know.
But again, this is goldmine. This is speculation. This is what we thrive off as a Shenmue community. Yeah. And then moving on. Hello.
Is this the Matt?
Wow, last time I checked, that was Yanglang. Rendered 97. 97.
So predates his actual appearance in any Shenmue game by 12 years. No, 22 years, right?
22 years.
22 years? Jesus Christ. My math's terrible.
22 years, you've got an image of Yanglang.
So, what does that say about how far they progressed? Did they just make the model? Or had they progressed the story up to a point where he appears? I don't know.
Mate, I don't know. But this again, I love this. Territory.
Again, that Mongolian style clothing, so Mongolian wrestling. If you Google image that, you'll see this.
And if you look at the back of his jacket, I say jacket, sort of covering, I guess, is probably what you'd want to call it. That is 1-to-1 to Shenmue 3. They've literally taken that Dreamcast model and gone, blonk, there you go, rendered it up. Well, I say rendered, I'll make it very simple, but obviously put it into Unreal, touched it up, done what they need to do, and have made Yanglang for the modern time. But that is 100% Yanglang.
And it kind of makes sense, actually, that they may have had a model in 97, because if you remember the chapter tile artwork, there is a chapter tile or two with this guy's face, right? With that sort of predominant fringe thing he's got going on there and the big muscles. You can point him out, I think, of like chapter 6 or 7 or whatever.
Yeah,
the chapter tile artworks. He
appears a couple of times, doesn't he? So he's definitely, he was supposed to have quite a key role, I think. Obviously, that's seemingly changed a little bit in Shenmue 3 that we got, but it sounded like and looked like he was planned for something more. Potentially.
I mean, to me, kind of maybe a disappointment of his featuring in Shenmue 3 that he was underutilized as such, and actually the main villain ends up feeling like that Mr. G guy, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
Rather than Yanlang, whereas like Yanlang looks a better character first off, anyway, comparing the two, Mr. G and this Yanlang guy, and it maybe would have been better. I'm not sure. Maybe Mr. G was always planned as well. I don't know, but maybe it would have been better to have Yanlang again later in the game. If you know what I mean, like a second time, like he's this reoccurring villain, but more of a predominant villain.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love his model.
I love.
Like I say, he looks like he would have had a bigger role to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is the first time I've seen this like you, so it's absolutely insane. And then
I don't know what Shenmue does to him.
Yeah, nor do I.
And then,
you've got then a nice render of Nozomi there. I think this was in the promotional artworks that we've seen and been released. So again, but it's cool to see it all the same. Then you've got one of the schoolgirls that has gone through a bit of a design change.
She doesn't wear glasses in game though, right?
No, she doesn't.
I don't think any of them do. I mean, there is one that walks around.
Sort of more nervously.
A blue dress, yeah, like a nervous one, not one of the ones that shouts at Rio. But again, I don't think she has glasses.
No.
In fact, off the top of my head, I don't think there's too many characters with glasses, is there? I think Atori-san has glasses. I think a couple of the older ladies, maybe. But I don't think there's any young characters with glasses that I can think of.
Jump out at me, but we can have a look at that. That's a Stu thing, that is, I reckon.
Yeah. Maybe Stu knows who that is. If it is someone that's appeared, I'm not sure.
And then again, a very early model by the looks of this one. Now this definitely has it's a low sort of poly model, I guess. But this is like that could have been Sega Saturn, couldn't it?
Do you think that's outfit. Like my? Because the outfit looks a bit Mai-ish, doesn't it?
Could be Mai, yeah. I mean, like the low model's got 491 polygons apparently. The middle model's got 1,115. You can see the difference, in fairness, certainly in the facial expression. But this was generated in 1998.
Right, interesting.
So that's quite cool. And then another one, lady in a trench coat.
Yeah, I don't know. Is her name Lydia? Something, I don't know. Lydia Bennett? Or am I thinking of someone else? In fact, I might be able to read that. Let me get it up on my screen so I can actually see the. So it's Jen. I don't know if that's a boo or po. Brighton? Brighton? Maybe Jen Brighton? Could be.
I wonder, because I'm sure, and I could be making this up, and George will shoot me if I'm making this up, but I'm sure George mentioned a character years ago with a very similar design that was an unused character in Shenmue 1 for some reason. And that just triggers a memory for me.
Could be, couldn't it? A Jen.
I could be completely barking
Jennifer,
up the wrong
maybe.
tree there. But again, something that I think the majority of people won't have seen this model.
No.
That's awesome.
And then we've got to go to page 2
and
now.
Then we go, we've just gone back round to go on to page number 2. Let me just pull this through. So then we've got Rio as a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, quite self-explanatory. You've got the character profile there generated at the end of 1998 where he's been beaten up. Like he's had that fight, so you've got a cutscene with a WoW and talks about his friends and what makes a good friend and all of that. And then you've got the model without. So again, it's generated on the same day, actually, 30th of December 98. Asia Travel Lady.
98 as well.
She looks pretty much fairly similar. I think her final model's a lot more detailed, but she looks pretty much there, doesn't she?
I don't think you get to see her shoes, so... don't know, maybe.
No. Oh, they might... She's got her feet on the desk. You might get a glimpse. But I can't remember what they look like in game. Okay. And then this random character, I don't recognise, generated in 1998. Looks like it's a work in progress with that one, I think.
98. I mean, it doesn't look as detailed as the others. But then the Yu Suzuki in his interviews, he said he went through like different stages, like real run-of-the-mill characters that don't really serve a purpose, had lower models, and then obviously there was like a mid-tier and a high-tier.
And that's an approach he took in Shenmue 3, isn't it? Where like he had like Schilling and Rio and people's like A rank characters, and he had like B rank and C rank characters. So I guess it's the same approach, isn't it? I guess most games do that, don't they? These days as well. It's just sort of a standard thing. But again, something we haven't seen before. Then coming on, you've got the karaoke
Mari.
Lady. Yeah, Mari. She likes. She wants to have a budding singing career with Rio. Doesn't really go anywhere. Generated in 1999. If anything, I actually think they've lessened her face, like sort of facial features in the final model a tiny bit, sort of toned them down. Not much, but a tiny bit.
Maybe so.
But I think she looks cool. Now, you're better for
fishermen.
One of the fishermen. I don't know his name. I can't remember.
Kimu? Kim, maybe? I don't know. Don't know what his name is in game, but yeah. He's got Eric Kelter's voice, I remember, when you talk to him.
So again, that's another one.
Don't know what that is.
I don't know, very low render model there of a child. I don't know who that is. KKO is the...
Coco. Coco.
Again.
So maybe a villager?
Oh, possibly.
Sort of a villager name, right? Coco?
Could be. But then, hang on. I'm an idiot.
97.
97 KKO, and then 1999 KKO.
So you think it was him, but they just changed it, so it's Gaowen.
Yeah. So there we go. There we go. We've worked this out all by ourselves. Let's set up a detective agency.
The same model number, yeah. So you'd assume it would be the same character, I guess. Okay, interesting. Can't remember her name, but she's one of the gossip gaggle people, I think.
Sits by the phone box, gossiping away.
1999.
And then
Stu would know.
Stu would know.
Offhand. Tomato Convenience Lady, but very early model version of her, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
98, is that? We're not saying 99?
99. Assuming the date, 3rd of September 1999.
3rd of September, so...
That's quite late on.
It is quite late on. So do you think they scrapped her and Or is she in Shenmue 2 somewhere? I don't know. Can't quite think of the... No, because obviously the tomato mart lady in Shenmue 2 is Izumi, isn't it? So... Don't know.
So that's in,
Just kind of have... It looks a little bit like the Shenmue 1 lady, but not quite at the same time.
May have taken inspiration for the final model from that. This one I don't recognise.
I don't recognise, but it is in George's Dreams of Saturn 2. Because I remember the colourful jumper, so I don't know if it is actually... It must be like an unused character model. Unless it's a Mad Angel that you see for a second and smack his face and he's dead. I don't know. Like a one-hit guy.
Again, generated 27th of July 1999. So again, sort of fairly close towards the end.
Yep.
Coming through here, you've got... this is generated on the 12th of June 1998. It's definitely
one of the butchers, isn't it?
Butchers, yeah.
I think it's the two that compete against each other.
Yeah,
one
the
of them,
rivals, yeah.
Yeah.
Very sort of low poly model there. Okay, although I think the detail on his face is quite good, and the sort of the head renders he's got, the veins on his head are quite cool. Which is cool.
Yeah, I like him.
And then you've got like a random officey type person from 97. That's quite a basic model, isn't it?
It is a basic one, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know if he would sort of the travel agent company, the global travel agency, maybe.
Absolutely,
like an early model of that.
Could be.
It says, what's it say there? Nihonjin BG Nesu man, businessman. So Japanese businessman.
There we go. Generic businessman from Japan.
Yep.
Shifting on.
Again, it looks familiar, but I don't know why.
I'm not... Do you know what? The face has got a little bit of Yuan about it. From Shenmue 2. Yeah.
With the necklace. Yeah. Maybe it's just again, it could be a 70-man battle or it's an unused model. I'm not sure on that one.
Could be. Yeah. 2 seconds. Right. The website went a bit funny. Next one.
So we definitely seen him before, haven't we? Is he a Slothouse guy?
Yes. Yeah, I think he is.
Shenmue 2, I feel like. The small kanji is 5. It's that first one's 5, so I don't know. Off the top of my head, I'd be saying like 5-star corpse. But I think he is one of the Slothouse ones in Shenmue 2, I think.
Does look about right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Shifting on, Ren. It's very early, Ren, isn't it?
Some good stuff now. So Ren, 98, it says bottom right there, Ren. Yeah.
Very early. You can tell the model's very, definitely a lot less detail on it. But quite a cool model.
Some
nice
artwork.
Character art there. That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
This is really good.
That's cool, isn't it? That's like you download as a wallpaper back in the day.
The 4 shades of Ren's mood. They're all the same. Look at his face.
But nice backgrounds.
Yeah. I'm not all joking aside. I think it looks really cool.
You've got a cave, maybe some metal wall, or I don't know, like a China wall or something, like a brick wall thing, and then cage. Kowloon-esque prison cell, perhaps. And Sky, I don't know if that's like the evolution of Ren.
Could be. Then you've got from 2000. This is now getting sort of later on.
Okay, yeah,
much later model.
2-esque. It actually says 75,000 polygons.
That's a lot of polygons. Do you get paid per polygon?
Yeah, maybe. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Then
check this one out. This is good, isn't it? Now this is a talking point. Yeah. This is from 2000, 23rd of March. This is Ren in his Mongolian clothing.
Which, I mean, if you're hearing this for the first time, guys, so basically, on the Shenmue 1 and 2 Japanese website, there was character profiles, and Ren's profile has this little bit at the bottom. I'm going to read to you now. So it says, no one in the heavens knows his true identity, but it seems that he's actually from the Mongolian horse tribe. So, we actually proposed that question to Yu Suzuki last year. Me and Switch, we asked Yu-san, essentially, on the Japanese website for Shenmue 1 and 2, there are some character bios. The one for Ren talks about his Mongolian background. Could you tell us a little bit more about Ren's origins and his Mongolian tribe link? So, interestingly, Yu Suzuki replied that he can't say too much about it because I'm not sure yet exactly how secret we have to keep this information. I don't want to give something away. You've kind of put me on the spot. It might be a spoiler, so I don't think I can say sorry. Which is very interesting, very telling, because the fact that he's not willing to because he could be a spoiler suggests to me that he's still planning whatever's going on with Ren here in the future of the series, potentially.
Yeah.
And if that character that we saw on some of the first artworks is a Mongolian horse tribe member that Ren knew back at his youth, or someone just before he went to Hong Kong and became a heaven, maybe it's his sister, or just a friend or someone like that he knew back in the day. If she comes back into the equation in a future Shenmue game, I mean, it takes me back to thinking like the Baisha stuff where Suzuki was teasing the horseback riding. There's going to be vehicles in Shenmue 3. One of them's going to have a 1 horsepower, he said, didn't he? Which we just assumed he meant there was going to be horses in Shenmue 3. He wanted to do a big siege battle, like a raid on whatever was going on in Baisha that we'll never know unless we get a Shenmue 4 and he incorporates some of those elements again. But whether or not we would have got these Mongolian links, I don't know if Yan Lang would have played a big role there with his Mongolian sort of heritage thing that he's going on with his clothing there. There could have been a few ties to Ren, potentially. Don't think Ren ever sees this guy, so maybe if he actually saw Yan Lang, he'd be like, oh god, I know you from back in the day, and then Mao comes into play or whatever her name is, and I don't know. This is just speculation on my part, but it's really interesting to see this actual Mongolian clothing that Ren's wearing here.
It just lends further credence to I know it's on the Shenmue 1 and 2 HD website from
this
Japan.
Is in 2000, by the way.
This is in 2000, 23rd of March 2000. So this is planned way back. And like you said, when
spelling mistake.
You then absolutely Rem. But when you put the question to Yu Suzuki, and he was like almost taken aback that he didn't know that was out there. So then he's like, oh, okay then. And then this is out here. It just pretty much confirms it, doesn't it? In my mind.
That, and I mean, if you look again, you might put a couple of images up of what Mongolian horse tribe people wear.
Yeah, I will. Absolutely.
It is essentially wearing some like these long sort of robe clothing, sort of lightweight, and big boots, bandanas, etc. That Ren's obviously iconic for. So yeah, really interesting, guys. Let me know your thoughts, or let me know me and Matt your thoughts and below about what we're seeing here, because I think this is really, really interesting.
It's really cool. And then coming through here, you've obviously got Ren again with the no spelling mistake this time. Very close to his final model.
Ooh. I just thought of it could be an intentional spelling mistake because the M could be the Mongolian version.
It could be.
I don't know.
And then
probably not.
Coming through here, some more character art of Ren, which I think looks pretty cool. That one, especially the last renders. One there, looks pretty cool there. So then we come on to page 3. So again, we're still on the early character renders. There's a lot of them, but I think this again we're going to go through them all at a reasonable pace and sit on the ones that really stand out. Little girl, 1998, 24th of
She's June. South Main quarter girl with the medicine shop in there, the herbal guy.
Oh yes.
She's got like a little dog with her and sort of a granddad smoking in the background or whatever he's doing.
I'm right in thinking you said she entered in Virtua Cop 3? Or is it somebody else?
I think it's someone else, actually. So Virtua Cop 3 is a lady with a panda on her top who works in Porridge Eatery, whatever it's called. Lala Eatery.
Right, I get myself confused.
That's a little bit of a cameo there. But this girl actually was the girl that was going to have that side quest, which is sort of like Meow Village type links, where Ryo gets on a bike, and actually she's on the back of the bicycle. So they were going to travel to Meow Village, get the medicine for a ill granddad or whatever, take it back to him, because they could only get it in Meow Village or whatever. And then, that was going to be that side quest. And then Ryo, when he got to Meow Village, was going to discover, I think someone had died. This is just what I can remember from Switch's translation article. I think someone died who used to have the second volume of the Wuling Shoe or something. So these links to that. And I think the little boy with the duck that we're going to see in a minute.
Oh yeah,
as well. He
So
had something to do with that.
You've got like a harbour worker here.
Mm-hmm.
Very sort of standard model.
He looks like someone that was in the game. Maybe the sort of the shy one. He's only just started there. He's 17 or something. I don't know if his age is listed there, but he looks a bit like that guy that's like a bit spotty and
and scared.
Scared into you.
And then here we are. Zangief from the barber shop. 1999. Very, very close to the final model. Fukusan.
In his outdoors gear?
With his outdoor jacket and with Fukusan written on his jacket. Is he going to forget his name?
Show off any? I don't know.
Quiet.
Don't know if he's dumb enough to do that, but this is also the outfit that there was an old concept artwork of him with like scratches and beaten up. He was the original. I think Yu Suzuki said at one point he was the original Nozomi rescue, if you know what I mean. But Ryo was going to go rescue Fukusan from Terry and the Mad Angels, but then I think it was either Yu Suzuki made the joke that why would Ryosuke want to save this guy? Or something like that. Something to that
Moving
effect.
on.
I love these ones, man.
Megumi with Minimi the cat. I love these. These are cool. So shifting through
block
here.
of 4, really nice. Really sort of show the sentimental side of Shenmue.
Yeah.
Don't think I've seen that one before. And that artwork, I've not seen that before.
I haven't. And then coming through,
tuna in its mouth or something.
Yeah. And then coming through, you've got another sort of image of Megumi with a coat. And then again, early image from 1999.
Makes you wonder if they were going to incorporate some more seasonal outfits.
They may have
for
done,
characters.
Possibly, when you look back to her in a coat, and it does beg the question. Like, they may have even thought of it and then just decided not to do it for whatever reason. Coming through, you've got a deer.
Looks like a Sega Saturn deer.
It does, doesn't it? And then you've got some
a
perspective model. So it's the Sega Saturn stuff.
Yeah. So actually, the comment bottom right there in white actually says from the Sega Saturn.
And that's 1998.
Really? So I think they were maybe they were just using this as a reference then.
Yeah, quite possibly, because it's still got all the sizings, hasn't it? Like Rio,
quite
Shenmue.
high deer.
Yeah, so that's quite cool. Like, that's a proper in-depth design, isn't it? There.
And obviously before Rio had his jacket.
So that's cool. A little piece of history of the Sega Saturn build. We're getting closer, getting ever closer to that build.
Yeah.
Zonquan.
Right, so there is a model for him. So
yeah,
going back, it wouldn't make sense for them to have that green guy.
No. Then going through, another harbour worker.
Yep.
And scooting through, businessman.
This is an interesting one, isn't it? Yeah.
Like an older businessman.
I don't know. Is he in the game?
I don't recognise him, but I can't think. Again, this is a question for Stu or George or somebody who would know.
Yep.
Viewing, this is like Project Berkeley sort of time, isn't it?
Yeah,
that look?
Very early into it there.
It's really
flowing.
I love that, and the lighting on that picture is brilliant as well. I think it really shows her off.
Mysterious vibes.
Coming through, another sort of random NPC.
It's weird, isn't it? I know this guy obviously created some of these models. The fact that they're like credited on his profile, portfolio, whatever, but a lot of them are like unused models, aren't they? Really?
There's loads of it here. And then coming through again, I guess another unused model.
Don't recognise him.
No.
But again, you don't know if these were intended for
later
or something,
or later installments or something, or could have ended characters that could have ended up in a Shenmue 3, like Niaowu or somewhere at the time. Then we've got some hands.
Quite a lot of hands.
Just reminds me of the Michael Huber interview that I did. He said one of the biggest things that stood out for him were the hands, like the hands detail and picking stuff up. It just reminded me of that.
Well, if you think when we were watching some of the premiere footage, Matt, or you know behind the scenes working on Shenmue, they were actually modelling real hands, weren't they, and how to grab, hold objects, how to catch things. Really, you can see the detail they went into to capture the hands.
And then again, sort of another one, sort of that claw type motion with your hand. This one, oh dear, you get punched if you see that. Remember that down your side. Look down. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Don't want to see that one. And then like a straight hand there as well. And coming on to page 4 again, some more hand models here. So like a sort of casual resting hand, I guess. Sort of a palm, straight palm. The detail again. I'm guessing it's Rio, but I could be wrong.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think whatever they're doing is just to show all the individual movements that they can do with the fingers. Like each individual finger is movable.
Mad. Like all this test, like one finger pointing. I like that.
Posable.
Sort of moving your fingers around. That's a better image of showing your fingers off actually, and what they were doing there. Oh, another one. Damn.
Ooh, who's going to punch me?
Yeah.
I looked at it.
Again, third's a charm. And then you've got here like a breakdown of all of them, actually, which I think is pretty cool.
No middle fingers, so.
No middle fingers. Although they could have rendered one, I'm sure, if they wanted to. Maybe someone did, I don't know. They just didn't, he didn't render this one.
Yeah.
Another character model.
Early Dallin? I don't know.
Wow, could be.
Could be with the chest hair thing going
on.
Ooh.
Bit Dolnu.
Scary, isn't it, that?
Like a flat-faced Dolnu.
Flat-faced Dolnu, yeah. Maybe that's what he gets when he's really angry. I don't know. Or
Scary,
exploding.
But this one's a good one, actually.
That's a one, isn't it?
So this is 1997.
Wow.
3rd of October. And again, it's a scaling model. I'm guessing from the Saturn era, potentially. Because Rio's without his jacket. You've got...
it has to be, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That could even be a Saturn model. Which is insane to think.
Or a boosted Saturn model before they went to Dreamcast.
Is that Shoeing in her other outfit? On the far right?
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
Right. Bit of a shorter dress.
But it definitely looks like Shoeing, doesn't it?
That kid was the Gaowen one, right?
Yes, it was.
GKK or something.
Again, it's all scaling stuff, isn't it? Now, this may have been used later on for the Dreamcast stuff to then be sort of worked on from there. Because Dolnu there doesn't look a million miles off, does he, the Dreamcast? So it could be early. It could be early Dreamcast development as well, and they've sort of taken the Saturn models and improved them. But again, a dive into history with this, and you're seeing Yang Lang again.
Yang Lang, that's really interesting, isn't it? That he's one of the very original characters outlined.
So it's and he's massive. Like Dolnu is huge, isn't he?
Big,
but Yang Lang isn't that much smaller, really.
No.
When you look at the two of them together, and then you look at Rhea, how much smaller he is, and then
he's like shoulder height, isn't he, of Yang Lang?
And then Ewing, yeah, it's like wow. Again, I love that. I absolutely love that. Dolnu himself. This is 1998. It's very similar, a bit more facial detail, I think, but not
there is quite a bit more detail going on, yeah. More like sort of shadows and stuff. Yeah.
Not too far off what the final model was in game. Then you've got, I'm guessing, looks like a barber by the.
I think it's Maida's son, is it?
Might be, yeah.
He looks like the one that tells you about Lusan.
1999.
Lucinium.
That is there. Coming through. Now, who's this?
Looks like a Shenmue Online character, doesn't it?
Does a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Year 2000, this was generated, apparently.
Like a Chinese outfit, but a character that, I don't know, stands out a little bit to you, doesn't it? I mean, it wouldn't look like someone too out of place in the Awu.
No,
it's like a shopkeeper, maybe.
Absolutely not.
But the way that she's looking there with like sort of the hanging rope thing around her waist there, it almost looks like she's a martial artist, doesn't it? So
does a bit actually, yeah. I'd take that.
Potentially
take
could
that.
be what's the girl in Biley Village in the pink.
Oh, Wei
Maybe.
Zhen.
Wei Zhen, maybe? I don't know.
Could be. Random, really low poly model here.
Yeah. That doesn't look like a Shenmue character model, does it, that?
And sort of shifting through here. Wong.
In fact, go back. Did it have a VRF? A VPG? VPB. Okay. I was thinking it was Virtua Fighter RPG thing, but I don't know. Project Berkeley, could be.
Yeah, could be Berkeley. Wong.
Wong, sniffing his finger.
And then sort of a
That's
breakdown
an
of
earlier
Wong
version
here.
of it, though.
Much earlier, earlier version of Wong there.
That
Probably looks...
promo one of him sniffing the singer. These are even better image of that was released, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, there is. And actually, this model of Wong looks like when you look at the bit where he's throwing firecrackers. That's very close.
I just noticed that says KKO as well.
Same. Like a child model, maybe, and they've just generalised them and split them off later. I don't know.
You don't think that would have been Wong then, would it? The 97 version of Wong with this grey shirt, spiky hair, shorts. But I am trying to think. Didn't we see early footage of Wong throwing a bomb into a place?
Yes, and it was very.
And he looks like this, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. And then a number of children.
KOD they are, so
1998 on that.
That's the girl from the Shenmue 2 herbal shop anyway.
Yeah.
This one is Komine's daughter or granddaughter.
Oh yeah.
My daddy, yeah. Okay, so it's his daughter, the bakery guy.
Shifting
My
through.
daddy's hot dog buns or something.
Child with
she
tears.
looks like she's crying. Yeah.
Yeah. She looks like she's crying.
You don't think it's the girl from the boat before
it could
they changed that model of that? I don't know. That gets off the ship and thank you for saving me.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
When she was upset or something, her mum says, doesn't she?
This was generated 22nd of January 1999.
Okay.
Or made at least. And then another model, I guess another child.
Not sure on that one. I feel like I could see that model maybe running around Wan Chai. You know, when you got like the odd kid running around.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And then shifting.
And then the last section.
Through, so page 5.
Some interesting ones on here. Again, don't recognise that one.
No, but again, probably one we haven't seen before.
Not sure on that one. Young boy. That's the duck handler one, isn't it?
Yes.
In White Dynasty. When you do the QT to sort of save him from those thugs.
Tries to give you a duck.
Cage goes flying or whatever and the duck runs off. Not sure on him. Don't recognise him.
Not sure on him.
Or him. Again, probably get some of these, but sort of see if Stu knows any of these. He's more likely to know who these are if they made it in the game.
He looks a bit like the duck kid, doesn't he, in the face?
Does look a bit like the duck kid again in the face, yeah. Obviously it's a Slothouse guy, but I don't know if he's in the game. If he is, he could be in one of the Shenmue 2 ones. Because there's a couple, and there's quite a few and double floors of them as well.
Yeah, there is.
So it could be one of the workers.
Here we are.
It's Wang or Wang's brother. Might be Wang's brother, actually.
Friendly freeloader or freeloading brother.
The one in the Yanton apartments, maybe. Nice outfit on him, though.
Yeah, very nice outfit.
That's the jackpot guy in the Shenmue 1 Slothouse. I hit the jackpot.
Coming through.
Don't know who that is.
No, don't know who that is. But again, 1999 to 22nd of January. I think a lot of these are generated at the same time, actually, very close to each other.
Yep. That's an interesting character, isn't it? That model.
Not sure who that is.
Obviously looks slightly malnourished.
Yeah. Possibly homeless.
So whether or not he was going to be like someone, Rio meets on the streets in China somewhere. Very cool. Maybe a Guilin resident, like an early one.
Yeah.
I mean, she looks familiar, but again, the face, not really. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure here. Early gossip gaggle.
maybe one of them characters potentially. Yeah, that definitely is.
Yeah, definitely is. That's
Sumiya-san or something, is it? I don't know.
quite late on, 25th of March 1999. So you're getting towards the end of development now in the final year.
Early Yang.
Yeah.
What year is that? Can you see?
1998.
Okay. So it just shows you like how far along they were with these characters that appear in like the third disc of Shenmue 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then this is an interesting one. So obviously we found this before, didn't we, when we were watching one of the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter videos, I believe. This popped up.
In it.
And we were like, wait, go back a sec. Was that a Dreamcast model of Aldier? Which
and to then
crazy,
go on
right?
to the next picture. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. Confirmed.
1990. This is generated 26th of May 1997. Now
97. Wow.
You look at that design there. You look at her end design in Shenmue 3. Very much like Yang Lang.
Get an image up of Shenmue 3 Aldier, right?
Because I would say they are pretty damn close.
Very close. So you can see like the original, subject material or whatever. They've kept it. Like the Yanlang looks like Yanlang in Shenmue 3. Aldier looks like Aldier in Shenmue 3. So very much those original intentions are still intact somewhat. But to have a character model like this in 97, again, of a character that you're not going to see until 2019 is mental. So again, did they make Bailu Village?
Wow. They may have made something.
They weren't far off, really, with the end of Shenmue 2, were they? So there could be some remnants of a village that they started working on, and she was one of the character models. Mad,
very, very, very possible.
Well, what I always think is, how far did they get with the Saturn build?
Because there's stuff in there from Shenmue 2, isn't there? A long way in.
Yeah. But I always thought as well, they're only going to show you stuff from Shenmue 1 and 2, aren't they, in that footage? So there could have been footage that they worked on in the Saturn build that progressed even further than the end of Shenmue 2.
Quite possibly,
but obviously then when they remade the game for the Dreamcast and they were trying to make it this powerhouse, this flagship title, both of those first two games expanded from what the original thing was, but the original thing could go further along than Guilin, which is why there's a character model for Yanlang, there's a character model for Aldier, potentially.
And then shifting on to the last one of the models.
Just a very low.
Not someone I recognise at all. Generated 3rd of March 1998.
But yeah, so those are the character models, guys. So we have got some area ones to show you as well, but you could see the development history here, which I absolutely love, and hopefully we're going to get some more of this with the design documents that are going to arrive quite soon. Yes. I just love seeing the history involved in Shenmue and it's, in this case, the character creation.
It's like a jigsaw puzzle slowly coming together, very, very slowly, piece by piece. We're getting little nuggets of information, things coming through, which are awesome. But let's go on to the early area renders. Now, there's not as many of these, but again, there's some good stuff here as well. Let's start with this one here. A nice boat.
Yeah, so like typically what you'd see at the start of Shenmue 2, arriving in Hong Kong. Got these sort of boats. And this was one of the things that actually said he worked on for Sega originally, so this could be one of the original things he worked on, because it said, but it did say something about working on Kowloon, I believe. Produce modelling and textures for Kowloon City, ships, food stalls, etc.
So this would be right up that street, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Shifting on, another boat. Very different looking boat, but the same sort of ideas you'd see.
Kind of the Bailu boat?
Yeah, could be that as well.
You know, when people, the Languishan boat.
When you arrive in.
Yep.
Could absolutely be that. Then you've got sort of a number of images here.
The bottom ones are really interesting, actually.
Yeah, the bottom ones are very, very interesting. Look like sort of a stadium type thing, don't they?
Yeah, well, we'll see what that actually is in a bit. But the bottom left ones as well, I'm not sure if that's a port or...
Yeah. And then the top left, there's like more boats and port sort of thing. 1996 this was.
Crazy. So he was well and truly working on the Saturn build.
Yeah, definitely. Like this is probably Virtua Fighter RPG.
Yeah, well it will be, won't it? And what we know that happens prior to the start of Shenmue on the Dreamcast was the karate tournament.
Yes, very much.
In a moment, we're going to see the first glimpse of that, which is amazing.
Then you've got like Hong Kong Kowloon.
Love that one.
That's
absolutely. That's a belter of a shot, that, isn't it?
Chapter card 2. That's what that looks like. If you had the characters around it, that's that image.
Do you think that's Kowloon or is it Hong Kong? Because it's got that sort of Kowloon packed in vibe to it, but the signage actually reminds me of what they had for the beta Aberdeen.
Yes,
and walking around Wan Chai. So when we were watching that footage back in the day, there's a lot more like hanging signage and stuff like that.
And actually, as a side point, the anime, they had a very sort of similar image to this as one of the backgrounds, didn't they? With like the signage everywhere. So
definitely,
you can see where that.
In fact, that's what that sky reminds me of. Actually, with the sort of looking over the sea, and you've got the sort of the shapes of the characters in the background in red. Yeah. Composition. It's what this is reminding me of.
Looks cool. It's a brilliant image. Like desktop background type image that is.
Yeah.
Definitely like a render like that sort of render would have been for a Saturn, wouldn't it?
Or previous podcast thumbnail image type of thing.
Another shot. Now this is the anime shot all day that I was talking about. That's the anime shot there.
Yeah, like walking down the road and that scene where Ren passes Rio without them knowing.
Yeah. Brilliant shot. Then again, sort of another view of the street, just sort of from further out.
Which is why I think this is more Wan Chai than Kowloon, actually. It does look
that's so good, though.
Cool. Yeah.
You got a load of sort of shops and stalls and bits and pieces for the shop signage and other bits as well. Again, 1996. So again, rendered
quite good, really, aren't they, for 96?
Yeah, they look really cool. And then, oh, hello, what's this?
So this obviously is computer-generated graphics, but at the bottom there it says Yokohama Bunka Taikukan. So this is the dojo, the karate tournament sort of dojo, where you'd assume that Ryo would be doing his karate tournament, prior to the events of Shenmue 1, the Taikai event.
In saying this, it's probably buried in the old ShenmueDojo.net site somewhere, and someone's talked about this at length, and we've completely missed it. But this is from 1996, so again, Virtua Fighter RPG. As far as I'm aware, this is the first time I've ever seen an image like this.
I don't think so, mate. When people have talked about this before, it always felt like a rumour, right? Like Yu Suzuki said, oh, where did Ryo get his scar? From a karate tournament as a kid or whatever. But to actually see the graphics and arena and model that they'd produced for said tournament or whatever that Ryo is supposed to have got his scar from. So this could have been the setting for Ryo getting his scar or whatever. I think it was by a sword, like a katana sword or something was the original quote from Yu Suzuki.
Okay, they obviously they show this in the anime, don't they?
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's the same arena because this is Yokohama, and obviously the one in the anime I think is the Yokosuka gym complex. I think it's actually the anime one is actually based on the gym arena thing that you can actually is a real living breathing thing in Yokosuka, and I guess this is based on a real arena in Yokohama, but potentially if that's like the actual name of the. In fact, it could be worth a Google that. Whatever that said at the bottom. Yokohama.
I'll bring it back up.
Yokohama Bunka Tai Kukan, right?
Yeah.
Comes up as the Yokohama Cultural Gymnasium. There is a Bunka Tai Kukan, actually. Indoor sports arena in Yokohama. Opened in May 1962. looks like a place that could have been an event for music as well, because it's just brought up with Discogs. But I definitely did get an image of, oh my god, mate, it's an old image, but check this out. You can pop this up on the screen.
Oh Christ! It's
Yeah,
1-to-1.
You can see it's 1-to-1 in it. You can see the curtain thing at the back, the seating arrangements. I think they might be playing basketball here. I'm not sure, but
Volleyball, I think.
Volleyball.
Why? That is 1-to-1.
But if you think if they've got like a karate tournament type of thing out there with the blue mats, I know Ezra's just competed in a karate tournament in Yokohama. I don't think it was that arena, but I was watching him on the live stream. Yeah, insane, isn't it? That just shows you the level of detail they were doing back then. They were actually basing stuff off real life.
Real life places, which is mad. And then again, like one final image there, different view of it.
Yeah. So very much tournament-esque in it with the chair seats arrangement there. People watching people fight. So you could imagine Rio in the anime versus that guy who were like, you won one hits in the anime, didn't he?
Yeah, just killed him. Done. See you later.
And a taiko drum thing there to go bang, starts the match off.
But yeah, this, like you say, this was all based off of real stuff at the time, and that goes back to the interview with the premiere and everything. And after the premiere, where he wants to take inspiration from real life places and then draw on that in a game. It's definitely done that here. But this is not, again, 1996, so we're in the Sega Saturn era here. Virtua Fighter RPG. This is, and it's just absolutely mental to see that. And that's the last image that we've been through. Treasure trove is the only word I can describe it.
Absolute gold. I mean, just looking at them like how we've just done, it's just fascinating. I'd love to get a book that just archives all of this sort of stuff. I know the dojo sort of fits the mold in terms of archiving all this sort of imagery, but which you can find on the dojo. Obviously, we've just been using the dojo to see these images, but absolute treasure trove, like you say, Matt, was fascinating.
It's mad, isn't it? All this stuff that's been sat in front of our noses for 25 plus years. And we stumble across it by accident, basically, by going down a Shenmue hole and finding all sorts. It beggars belief, actually. Beggars belief.
It is insane.
Right, do you, as we sort of bring things to a close, do you have any particularly favourite images?
Obviously, the very first shot, I think that is amazing. Like I say, I've got that as my background wallpaper, and it's probably going to stay like that for the next 5 years. Because that's stunning artwork. To just look at that character that we know nothing about, but appears to have such a significant role in the series. Whether or not we'll ever see her, I feel like we will, because of how prominent she is in these models and her relationship to Ren, and going down the Mongolian rabbit hole that we did, where Yu Suzuki didn't want to spoil anything. Still sort of feels like there might be something going on there, Mongolian-wise, that we're yet to discover. So hopefully one day we'll find out who this character is. And God, going from, like, say, how we've seen the Aosun in this very early 1998 CG artwork to what we saw of her in Shenmue 3, like this incredible upscale 2019 model, Unreal 4. Imagine seeing this character model that we're looking at here in Unreal 5 or whatever.
Yeah, it's quite possible, isn't it?
Mental, absolutely mental.
That image is insane, absolutely insane.
And then, other than that, well, I think all of the images of her are probably the highlight. But then also seeing Yanlang and Aldier, Dreamcast S models.
Yanglan is like, I don't know, for me, that one just jumps out as a... especially with him being in the chapter cards as well, twice.
Yeah.
I don't know, they clearly had more planned for him and what they were looking at. I think it's absolutely insane. I love that model. I think it probably is my favourite of the character models outside of the first one we looked at, where we opens, like you say, opens it up as like, oh, here you go, here's something you've never seen before.
Yeah, like a holy shit moment. I remember when we looked at these, and I was like, oh my god, because you just don't expect to see this stuff, do you? Just it's not like it's even been leaked or like it's an auction. It's just been there all this time.
It's been there. It's not been. Well, I say it's not been hidden. It's been hidden in plain sight, hasn't it? Which is the crazy thing. And then going on to sort of the area renders, for me, it's the karate tournament stuff.
Karate tournament, because it
has to be.
We're seeing a glimpse of what could have been, or what was originally intended there, that we'd heard so much about, but
or what could happen in a fully fledged remaster.
Yeah, exactly. Or Shenmue 0.
Yeah, or Shenmue 0, anything. But again, 1996, this was.
You just can't get your head around it, can you?
No.
So that's nearly 30 years old, that image.
Yeah. 29 years old, that image.
Yeah. We're sort of still none the wiser, but it's really nice to see these things. And hopefully with the auction document folders that arrive, Matt,
yes,
we can do another one of these type of things where we'll go through every single image. I mean, there's a lot of images with that one. There's like 375 or something, so we could be here a while if you want like a really, really long form show going through those ones, or we can maybe break it down to a folder, do 3 videos perhaps on those.
Yeah, probably a good
might
idea.
Be the better solution. But incredible stuff, Matt.
Yeah.
Absolutely
incredible. And it just begs the question, what else is out there that we don't know about?
Well, there's loads. When you look at the Shenmue documentary that Adam Scipione did, and you've seen the footage there, Yu Suzuki's going through the booklet, these images, artwork there. We've got them on the dojo, some of them, that I could sort of crop out and get as good quality as possible. They're really poor quality, but they are on the dojo, like original Akira-esque Virtua Fighter RPG character artwork, and then sort of the evolution of Akira to Ryo. There's some drawings of Shenmue, like the top of the mountain. There is artwork out there that we've kind of had glimpses of. I feel like maybe even like a GDC, the 2010 GDC or whatever.
Yeah.
We were showing quite a lot of like early artwork of, which is where we got those chapter tile artworks of originally. And then also if anyone got the actual Blu-ray of the Shenmue documentary, these are bonus footage. Or was that might have only been for the backers? Was that only backers with the over the shoulder cam footage?
Oh, it was all online, digital only, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I feel like it might have only been accessible with a password for backers.
I think it was
that video, because I'm not sure if we're meant to really share that one as such compared to the other things.
Probably not, but we'll leave that there. I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But people who have seen it know what I'm talking about. There is a lot of like over the shoulder original artwork that we've had glimpses of from Yu Suzuki's files. And also the premiere footage. There was like that cool shot where everything's sort of laid out. They did that panning shot and you can see character artworks sort of everywhere. Just insane, really. Like I say, hopefully this is all documented somewhere and it's not just in these folders that are being sold off left, right and centre on auctions. And if you don't win them like us, Matt, they could be just lost forever, never to be seen again. Hopefully it's not that situation. Hopefully there is, I don't know, a hard drive somewhere in Sega's offices with every single image backed up, or Yu Suzuki has just the archives, I don't know, somewhere.
God, you hope so, because otherwise you're in a fight against time, aren't you? In the fight to preserve all these sorts of things, which is the moment when this was discovered, it was uploaded to the dojo within hours.
Yeah,
and that's the whole point with the images as well. We're getting from the documents we've won. It's all going to be scanned in, preserved forever, so that people can access it and enjoy it, and also that part of Shenmue history. But as a side point, sort of to close this out, I guess as well is, A, we don't know what else is out there. B, we've got the other documents coming. And C, I just want to know what everybody thinks of this stuff. Are people's minds like ours, like mind blown sort of thing? Seeing characters we've never seen before, seeing Dreamcast models of Yang, Lang, and Audi, confirmed Dreamcast models, and the fact that this is another piece of Shenmue history that is now out there. Okay, it was out there, but you know what I mean.
yeah.
Hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, officially out there now.
But it's
Let
properly
us,
out
honestly,
there now.
guys, let us know. You can see all of the links will be in the description below, the show notes below. Definitely check these out. Full res, full screens on your computer. Make sure you have a proper good look at these like we've just done, and let us know what you think of them, and let us know your thoughts on these characters that we've not seen. Mao, whatever her name is, looks like a real sort of expressionative character. A lot of cockiness vibes to her when we're looking at faces. Definitely hope that we see her in the future, and just let us know what you think of Ren's Mongolian horse tribe sort of backgrounds and all these connections that we're kind of like you say, Matt, we're putting some jigsaw pieces together. There's a little bit more weight behind Ren's Mongolian profile that was listed on that website, Shenmue 1 and 2 profile website now, because we've actually seen him in the outfit, and we've seen another character that knows Ren.
That's just on its own mind-blowing, and probably a good way to end the show, guys. So thank you for sticking with us for a good hour and a half going through all those images. Obviously, let us know what your favourites are. I think most of us will be leaning towards the stuff nobody's ever seen before in terms of the characters and things like from the Dreamcast era that obviously made it their way into Shenmue 3. Don't forget, as always, like, share, subscribe, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Follow us. You can follow us on Twitter at Shenmue_Dojo. Facebook is Shenmue Dojo. Instagram Shenmue_Dojo. YouTube Shenmue Dojo VOD. Twitch ShenmueDojo.tv. Blue Sky ShenmueDojo.com. And we've got the website ShenmueDojo.com where you can find these images. The forum ShenmueDojo.com/forums and our Discord server as well. Don't forget YouTube membership for £2 a month. You get all these videos ahead of time outside of our mainline podcasts. All the money goes to the site running costs that James and I obviously incur, and also help potentially fund a little bit of the money we've spent on auctions recently, because I think I'm going to need a new kidney after that one. And thank you for joining us. Much appreciated for everybody joining in on the content as always. It's a goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye from me.
Take care, guys. Have a good one. I'll be back with a video in the not too distant future. All the best, guys.
Look at the time.